Good morning. Hi, everyone, and welcome to our panel of experts on the Radke Show. I'm Melissa Radke. I'm your host. This is David Radke, the co-host.
What's up?
This one right here. And, oh, excuse me, got a frog in my throat. Good morning, Elizabeth Vargas. So glad that you're here. If you're rewatching us later, thank you so much. Welcome to the week that school starts here in Texas. And before it starts, people are like, "Oh, we're going to have a treat today." I have got two of my kiddos here with us. Now, if you're new to us, this is not an actual blood kiddo, but she is my kiddo just the same. This is my son, Rocco. Rocco, quit yawning and act like you're excited to be here.
Hey, guys.
This is Rocco. You are purposely making your voice that low.
I didn't think.
Hey, guys.
That's your voice isn't really that low.
Yeah, it is.
Say hello. How's everybody doing?
Hello, how's everyone doing?
No,
It
that
is
was
not that low.
Well, that was.
Hello, how's everyone doing?
Okay. This is Rocco, the love of my life. Okay. Just ask Taylor. I adore this child. I adore this child. And this is his girlfriend of like a year and 2 months, like 14 months these kiddos have been together. This is Taylor Finch, and she is starting school today. But I don't understand why you're not there yet.
Well, Rocco doesn't start till Wednesday.
Rocco starts on Wednesday. Taylor starts today. They go to different schools. But why aren't you there?
Because she's got college.
Rocco, she can talk.
Because there's I have to go to AC for college, and it doesn't start till next week. So the 2 periods I was supposed to be there, I'm just not going to sit there for 2 periods.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
She's an overachiever.
So that's what Remy did last year, except instead of sitting here with us, she just went to Starbucks and spent money we did not have. Maybe you'll get in that habit. Speaking of Remy, she is not with us this morning because she has strep throat. So she is back in her room. I know, she's back in her room, sick as a dog. And we are trying to get her well because she has school on Wednesday, her senior year. And in fact, Rocco, I didn't tell you this, but she missed the first senior outing yesterday.
Yeah.
They had senior hijinks at hijinks from
so cringy. That is so
there's
cringy.
nothing to do in Lufkin.
I know.
Jump. It's a trampoline place.
It's a trampoline park. Rocco, you would still go if it was your senior year.
He went a couple of weeks ago.
But that's
Exactly.
That's a senior.
Okay, but still, it was from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. They had rented out the place, and tons of her friends went, and she couldn't go, and she was so discouraged. So she asked if she could get in bed with us. So she crawled up in the middle of David and I, and then we both just turned our bodies the opposite way so we wouldn't breathe her in at all. And then she crawled up in bed with us, and she's like, "So y'all aren't even going to face me?" We said, "Absolutely not." She goes, "Well, this really isn't very special, is it?" So she's sick this morning. So y'all pray that she gets better before Wednesday. But we have Rocco.
Actually, before Thursday.
Wow, what's Thursday?
They have their first tennis match, and Rocco and Remy are actually playing mixed doubles.
That's right. Rocco and Remy are playing mixed doubles.
Which means I'm on varsity.
If you hear the earth begin to shake and tremble, it's because they're screaming bloody murder at each other. I said to Remy, could you please get through an entire tennis game without screaming at your brother? And her answer was, not if he screams at me first. So Rocco, let me ask you, can you get through it without screaming at her?
It depends.
Okay, well, there we go. All right, there's Russ Love. Okay, let me tell you, you guys can ask if you have any questions for Rocco and Taylor about young love.
I remember when school didn't start till Labor Day. I feel like that's crazy. That's what my birthday is.
I remember school starting after Labor Day.
Yeah, when we were kids, we got all of June, all of July, all of August.
For sure, I remember that too. And I miss those days. That's for sure. Okay, Taylor, you told us that you were nervous. Why? You're not only have you gone to this school almost your whole life, your dad is the principal at the high school that you're in. Why are you nervous? What makes you nervous?
Because the classes are going to be really hard.
The classes are?
She's
It is
like
her
AP everything.
It is her junior year. You remember last year was Remy's junior year. All AP, all advanced.
Junior year is
It's
tough.
It is.
Yeah.
It is tough. And I think it's because they know that it is the first really time that you're starting to look at colleges and stuff, and they are getting you ready. I think from what I've heard, it's harder than senior year. Okay. Okay. But you don't have to be nervous.
And she's also, have you found out your current ranking?
I
She
was
was
third.
third.
Like the last time I checked, I don't know what it is now.
I think she's first or second, but
Well, she just said she's third.
well, that was last time
last-
she
that
checked.
was last
But she was the only person that took college classes over the summer.
Okay. We might have a little valedictorian here. Wouldn't that be awesome? Because we're not really holding our breath for
She's
either of
the
our
close-
two.
She's the closest you'll ever get.
Tony McDonald says, my baby starts high school today. I don't know what's sadder, your baby starting high school or your baby starting their last year of high school. It's going to be very sad for me, Remy's senior year. My son, let's see, 10th grade at a military academy. Holy cow, Amy. That is crazy. What is it?
We're talking
just
about
wanna
what time
make-
she needed
I
to
wanna
leave to
make
be
sure
there
she
on
wasn't-
time.
Okay.
She's got to leave here at 9. She's got to be there at 9.
So I was going to ask you guys, we'll get to what y'all's weekend here in just a second, but I was going to tell you guys about our weekend. And yesterday we were in church. And after a year of these kids dating, I've learned a lot about Taylor. And
Okay.
Taylor she comes over to our house. She's over at our house almost every day. Rocco's at her house a lot as well. And she has started coming to our church. And we love that she goes to our church. Yesterday, I finished helping lead worship, and then I went and sat beside Taylor, and I had to leave a few minutes early. And so I went to go tell Taylor that I was leaving early. Hey, I got to step out a little bit early. Can you, because I had to pick up Remy's prescription at Walgreens, can you take David and Rocco home? Okay. And I learned something about Taylor that I did not know. She's very sweet and demure and quiet right now. Okay. But in church, she went just like this. I said, Taylor, I have to pick up Remy's prescription at Walgreens. So I'm going to go ahead and leave early because it's ready and take that to her. Can you run David home? Oh, I don't mind taking him home.
I didn't talk that loud.
Taylor.
Taylor. I did not talk that loud, but I definitely did once.
Taylor, I just learned about you. You cannot
I
whisper.
can, but I just wasn't thinking. It just like slipped my mind. You're in a whisper.
No,
one was
no.
around us.
Taylor, we
There was literally no one, and like
She was like, I'm going to my Mimi's for lunch, but I can still drop Mr. David off. And I said, I remember looking at her like this. Like, how is she not noticing that everyone in here is looking in their Bibles and crying? And I said to her sister was with us. I said, she can't whisper. She goes, oh no, she has never been able to whisper. Does she do this in movies?
But what volume did her sister respond in?
This is her sister. I said, Taylor cannot whisper. She went, no, Taylor's never been able to whisper. Oh, they're saying hi to you. My daughter started senior year today. Excited for her, which helps me hold back the tears. Jen, I don't think I'm going to be weepy at all. I don't feel that.
Jared can't whisper.
I think that I can't. I think that I'm going to get weepy on certain things. Her last tennis game, right? Her last day of school. But I'm not getting weepy yet.
That's a lot.
Not.
You broke down when they asked you to volunteer for
I was gonna say.
Project Celebration.
I broke down when they asked me to volunteer for Project Celebration because they asked me to volunteer for Project
Had
Celebration.
nothing to do with Remy. Oh,
Okay. That's why I was crying because they found my cell phone number, which I tried to hide from them.
Great. I need that hidden and blocked.
Rocco, tell me what y'all did last night.
That's nice.
Yes,
Oh.
you weren't with us. So
Yeah, well, she left Nunny and Pop. We were at Nunny and Poppy's. I spent the night there. She was at Nunny and Poppy's until like what time?
8. Yeah, 8.
8, and then me and Graham drove our
Yeah, they
truck.
stayed up like freaking till 11 swimming.
Yeah, and then
Who, you and Graham?
me and Graham.
Just you two?
Yeah.
That's good.
And then we took pictures of our truck. You want to see?
No, I don't.
Yes, look.
Rocco, y'all got to go. I don't want to see pictures. This is Rocco. No, this is a live show. Okay, we probably have talent scouts watching this right now from Hollywood.
Look at that.
All right, that is beautiful. That actually really is a pretty picture. Okay, here you go.
Look at that. They saw it.
You guys tell the kids goodbye. Goodbye, kids. Goodbye. We love y'all. Y'all are great. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks.
Taylor, don't do that. Thanks.
Why?
That's how she says thanks. It comes out. Thanks. Okay, we love you. Go.
Alrighty.
Keep your hand in the hand of Jesus.
Okay.
You look great today. I love you, Rockland.
I love you.
Rocco, Dad's taking you at 10 o'clock.
Yeah. I literally just want to think.
Rocco, get out. We're talking about his haircut now. Help us, Lord. So anyway, you guys, how was your weekend? I'm sorry that happened, but they were like, can we come on the show? Can we come on the show? So I wanted to let them come in and y'all meet them. They are pretty adorable.
That was Radke that wanted to. I mean, she was.
Yeah, she didn't ask. Goodness knows.
She obliged. But
But how was y'all's weekend? Let us know how yours was. Ours was a pretty relaxing weekend.
it was.
It
I'm
really
kinda-
was. You don't remember what we
kinda
did because
blanking
we're
right now.
relaxed. Like we had a relaxing weekend. Remy stayed in her room. We quarantined her. Rocco spent the night with his grandparents a couple nights, and we've had a really relaxing run. Watched a good movie on Saturday night until I fell sound asleep in the middle of it, which I used to could stay up, David.
You no longer.
I used to could stay up. Went on Friday night to a Mexican restaurant here in town with all of our family. We have this thing that happens in our family, and it is a tradition that is upheld by my mama and her sister Melba Joy. And everyone in the family has told my mama and Melba Joy that we don't like the tradition, but they keep doing it. And this is the tradition. They will text and it will say, time to get together for all the birthdays in June and July. And then in September, we'll have time to get together for all the birthdays in August and September. And people don't like it. Okay, we've got things to do. We got places to go and people to see.
The other thing that I don't like is the $5 rule that they came up with.
Mm-hmm.
So because it could get very expensive with the large
We have a big family.
You know, so obviously those close in your family, you get whatever gifts. But then, you know, all the cousins and whatever, you give them $5.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the problem. You have to go buy a card for $6.99 to put the $5 in.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I'd rather someone just give me $10 and not give me a card. It's a cards
That
are
card's
such
going to go in the trash.
cards are such a waste now. Most of the time, occasionally, yes, it's absolutely worth it. But for this, it's like
I'm just going to start doing what my Uncle Dave used to do. God rest his soul. He just used to print out a funny meme on a piece of notebook paper and then fold it in half and write on the inside of it. And we used to think that was the cheapest thing in the world. But now there are actually funnier things online than there even are in card shops. So I'm just going to start printing out a card and signing the inside of it. I didn't take a card nor $5. I just said, my presence is your gift. And everybody who had a birthday in June and July said, you know what? You're right. Your presence is our gift. Thank you so much. But nobody likes doing it. I don't know why they keep it going. And Mike Melba said this to me the other day. You know, when we die, who's going to take over and make these kind of things happen for the family? And I said, nobody. The family's going to disband as we know it. We'll no longer have contact with each other. And she said, don't even say things like that. They make me cry, Melissa. But I just can't stand it. We were there on Friday night, and it was interesting because we got seated right beside a table of another big family. They were there with their kids and grandkids. And I went to high school with her. I graduated from high school. In fact, she was one of my absolute closest friends, probably my best friend in high school. Now, I was closer to a group of 3 girls that I went to church with. We were very close. We've been to Mexico together. We call ourselves the Golden Girls. Now, I was closer to them. But as far as at school, I didn't go to school with anybody that I went to church with. This was probably my best friend in high school. And it's so funny because, and I was going to ask you guys this. Have any of you stayed in contact with anyone you went to high school with? I find that more times than not, we keep in closer touch with those we went to college with than maybe those we went to high school with. What about you? How do you feel about that?
I would agree with that only because I went to college with you. So
David's like, I've kept him pretty good.
I'm bad. I never keep in contact with people from high school. Occasionally, they'll jump on one of my Facebook posts. Well, I can't say that because I don't ever post on Facebook, but I maybe jump on theirs. So, like that. But I mean, I went to where did I go to, like my 20 year or maybe the 20 or something like that. And I hadn't seen most of them in a very long time. Mm-hmm. And even my very closest friend, I used to kind of keep in contact with, but then just the longer the time has that we haven't.
But I wonder why it is.
But I'm the same way with college too.
Okay, but see, don't y'all think though that it's completely different for a man? I do. The fact that, okay, so David has a buddy. His name is Sean. I won't give his last name. Sean is still best friends with a guy from high school. Sean now lives in one state and his friend Mike lives in another state. They talk almost every day on the phone. Now that is odd. Nothing wrong with it. It's wonderful. But that is odd. It would not be odd.
I hate to say the word odd. It's an outlier for sure. But there's nothing odd about it if you have that,
But
person.
For Sue's on here who says, I'm still really close with my high school gang. She's a woman. I think it's easier for women. But anyway, long story short.
Kim said, I'll pass them in the grocery store and they don't even recognize me and I'm fine with that.
Here's what's strange. When David and I first moved to town, so for those of you, I know Kim Davis is brand new. She's like, I just came across your show and I'm watching it and I'm loving it. Kim, I'm so glad you're here. For those of you who maybe don't know, we lived in Nashville for 16 years. So I am from this town that I'm in right now, but we moved away and now we've moved back. When we moved back, I don't know why, because I did not keep in touch with anybody from my high school years. There was a part of me that knew her and I would reconnect. Well, we have, and I don't know why. I don't know.
Who is this, her? I'm sorry.
Who I saw at Del Rio the other night.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I knew that we would reconnect. I just knew it. And I don't know why I knew it. I didn't keep in touch with her. I didn't know her husband, hadn't met her kids, didn't know a thing about her. But I knew that we would reconnect. But we've lived here now 13 years. That's so hard to believe. We've lived here 13, 14 years.
But coming on 15, actually.
Oh, really? Yeah. And we hadn't reconnected. Her and I haven't reconnected. Just still running very different circles.
And even as a couple, I mean, it's probably 5 years ago. I mean, so we had already been here about 10 years. But even about 5 years ago, we went to dinner with her and her husband. Mm-hmm. And we had a really good time. Mm-hmm. Now, maybe they had a terrible time, but we had a good time. But I think part of it is just life. Like if you don't make it a priority and if you don't schedule it, it's not going to happen.
For sure. But I have always thought in the back of my mind, I don't know why, but I think I'm going to reconnect with her. Well, rewind about 8 or 9 days ago, David and I have been doing the 21 days of prayer at our church. I walk out to my car one morning and I hear Melissa. And I turn around and it's her. And y'all, she has started going to our church. I did not even know she had started going to our church. So we stand and we talk by the car for a long time, and we're like, yeah, we should get together. Well, then a couple of days later, we're at this Mexican restaurant. We're having this big birthday dinner, and we get sat by her family. To which I turn around and her and I start talking, and I start talking to all of her kids, and her husband is teasing me, and now we're planning to go to dinner with them. I don't know why, but I have thought in my head that was going to happen. That is very weird. Like when you just are like, even when they got up and left and they're like, bye, she's like, I'll call you when I get back in town. And yesterday we were texting. I know that is so odd, but like, I wonder why that is. You don't know you're a man, but I wonder why that is that I have just like had her on my mind.
I just kind of go, is that acid reflux?
Yes,
And
Lord
we're-
knows. Pop a pill, David, pop a pill. So anyway, that was our weekend, getting the kids ready. I'm letting Remy sleep. And hopefully she's good to go on Wednesday when they start back to school. And now I have a new friend. I have an old friend that's a new friend. Isn't that weird? So I do have to be intentional. You're absolutely right. I'm seeing that in the comments. And I need to be intentional about that. Anything that you wanted to add about the weekend?
Finished up with some great Olympics.
Let's talk about that.
I will go over and sit and visit with my mom, and most days. And I went over and I said, "Did you watch any of the closing ceremony?" She goes, "No. It was just about time for the Olympics to be over." So and I kind of feel that a little way. After whatever it is, the 2.5
full
weeks,
weeks, yeah.
full 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, whatever. It's like, okay, it's okay. It's taking a lot of my time that I need to invest in other things, but great women's soccer game.
I thought they were great Olympics. I enjoyed them this year.
Oh no, I did too. But I'm just saying they just as always they just go on,
Yeah.
and on because there's so many things. But great, they were great Olympics. U.S. women's soccer team won. It was a great game. Man, the U.S. men's and even more so the U.S. women's basketball, both of them were just like trying to let France win,
Yeah.
trying to be generous to their host, but they both turned around. So good last couple of things in the.
So let's talk about that closing. Let me ask this. David, is it common? I don't know that I have ever watched a closing ceremonies. I think by the time it's ready to close, I'm done. I've never watched the closing ceremonies. Is it common that the next place that they're going to hold the Olympics plays a large part in the close?
See, I don't know. Maybe there is. I can see. I don't remember.
I don't know.
Because I'm like you. I don't think I've watched a lot of closing ceremonies. I think there's probably always something of, this country putting out their Olympic, flame, and they pass it to the other one that starts we're going to run this over here, thing or whatever. So probably that. But, this had performances, like I think 3 performances on the beach in LA by different performers. Tom Cruise did like a stunt and,
Okay, but that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Now they had the Hollywood sign, and on the 2 O's at the end on the wood, the OO, they had added extra rings, and they had made those into Olympic rings. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought Tom Cruise. I wondered why Tom Cruise was in Paris watching the gymnastics. It just doesn't seem like something that I've ever seen him at.
Yeah.
Like you
But
see
I'm sorry.
Serena Williams in the crowd, and you're like, oh. They're like, here's celebrity Serena Williams. Well, I get that. She's an athlete. I just never seen Tom Cruise, but now we know he was filming.
Yeah, well, and I'm 90% sure I saw him at tennis.
Really?
He and I talked at the women's soccer games championship.
Did y'all talk?
No, I saw him there. So he was at several.
Okay, but now we also know he was filming because he's filming himself on a motorcycle riding out of Paris.
Right.
And then getting into a thing and jumping. Who
Now,
knows
and
what he
Tom
does?
Cruise is big enough, and especially with it being in L.A., Hollywood, that there may not be any connection. But I bet either soon or in the works, he's got some movie coming out with Universal. I bet there's some tie-in why they picked him over anybody else. Although
he
if
always
there's
does his
anybody-
own stunts.
Well, I was gonna
so
say if there's anybody that like Snoop Dogg,
He's on
was
The Voice.
He was entertaining at the Olympics, but he was on there because he's the new coach on The Voice, and they were promote. So I'm wondering if Tom Cruise is that, but he's also the international spy, and so him being in France and
okay,
and all
David. That said, when people around the world think of Hollywood, they think of American icon movie star. Tom Cruise is for sure who they are thinking
probably
of.
the not. Yeah, I would.
They think. I'm speculating. I would think when they think American movie star, they think Tom Cruise and Julia Roberts. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Don't you imagine?
I'm not for sure about the Julia Roberts, like Tom Cruise's movie, especially like, all the Mission Impossible. Those are big international movies. Like they're massive international, was The Runaway Bride big in,
You shut your mouth.
I don't know.
You shut your mouth.
It might have been, but
What about Notting Hill, David?
but she's also not been in big movies for a while,
Y'all, tell him he is wrong. Who is the biggest female American movie star in the world?
You might be right.
No, I'm not. Might be right.
Okay, but-
I am right. And that's coming from someone whose favorite movie star is Sandra Bullock. But even I know it's Julia Roberts.
But you can't say that, she had 2 movies out last year that were really big, or before. I mean, it's been a while since she's had, big movies.
Because she doesn't have to.
That's true.
Okay.
But you could easily be right. But yeah, Tom Cruise, because even the other 2 that kind of pop in my head, but I still don't think they're on the international level that he is, would be George Clooney or Brad Pitt. But I don't know internationally if they translate the same. I don't know.
We have one viewer who is saying, I have to disagree. When I think of American, like major movie star, I think Tom Hanks over Tom Cruise. And no doubt, that is a movie star. But I don't think that Tom Hanks encompasses all that Tom Cruise does. Tom Cruise has been dramatic, and Tom Cruise has been fierce, and Tom Cruise has been all those things that Tom Hanks has been, but Tom Hanks has not been all the things Tom Cruise has been. Jumping,
have a good
bye
day.
y'all. Jumping and parasailing, and he hung upside down on that train at that very end of the new Mission Impossible.
And at the very first one, he almost fell all the way to the floor and went. Zzz.
David, George could not rappel down the top of a stadium. David, they want you to know that.
That's
and they're
absolutely-
all saying she's right.
Yeah, Tom.
They're all saying Julia Roberts for sure.
Tom Hanks, as far as I don't know the depth movie star. Yeah, I might give him a slight bump, but because Tom Cruise has all the action movies, like he'd be the number 1 action, and I think those translate better in other countries.
Here's what's sad. David, who would you say is the biggest movie star from India? You wouldn't. Who would you say is the biggest movie star in Brazil? You wouldn't. That's what's so crazy to me, that they know American movies so well. You guys, I have always wondered this. When Taylor Swift goes to Tokyo and does a concert that is completely sold out, she is doing everything in English. Am I right? Mm-hmm. But some of them, I think we have just figured out something else that baffles my mind. As you guys know, I can't figure out time zones, and I can't figure out how to work an air conditioner. This is another thing that baffles me. If you filled an entire stadium with people here in America, you filled Reliant Stadium, okay? It was 70,000 people. And you said, now all of you can speak fluent Spanish, right? The number of people in Reliant Stadium that could speak fluent Spanish would be about 4%. Maybe a little more.
Probably, yeah, more, definitely more in Houston.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're telling me that if you filled a stadium in Tokyo, all of them know fluent English, but they're singing along with her. This doesn't make sense to me. It's
Yeah,
like a parallel world that I can't wrap my mind around.
Yeah, of course, I've been thinking about this way back with David Hasselhoff in Germany, because he was
David Hasselhoff in Germany.
David Hasselhoff was a massive, massive pop star in Germany when we were like kids.
Pop, he sang.
Yes.
Tell me one thing David Hasselhoff sang, and I'll eat my hair.
Guten, guten, guten. I don't know. I don't know. It was in Germany. He was big in Germany, but that's not real uncommon. The what was the first band? Backstreet Boys. Backstreet Boys had gold records in Germany like a year or two before they ever came to the
But
United
these
States.
people can't speak English. So how are they singing along to Taylor Swift and David Hasselhoff? The fact that Taylor Swift and David Hasselhoff are even in the same sentence is why people should be watching the Radke Show. Okay?
We bring it together.
That does not make any sense to me. I can't wrap my mind around it. When BTK, not BTK. That's the killer. That's a serial killer. Not BTK. What's the name of the little pop group? K-pop, Korean pop group.
It's
And they smooth like butter. I mean, they sing that song.
Yeah.
If they did a concert, I would not know a single thing they are singing. BTS. And I wouldn't say, I think I'm going to learn Korean language just so I can sing along with it. It doesn't make any sense. What is happening?
Yeah. I think it is the music. And just like the kids say when we go, have you listened to the lyrics of that song? And they go, not really. I just like the beat. Or I just like the drum track. I just like I think that's a lot.
No,
I think that's a lot of it.
it's not. And I'll tell you why. You go to TikTok and you type in Taylor Swift Korea arena. You'll hear all of the little Korean girls sing.
They do.
I love you, ain't that the worst thing you ever heard? He looks so pretty like a devil, it's true. And they'll know those words and they will sing them. And it makes me feel like I can't live to my full potential because I can't do that.
It makes me wish that I worked for, is it Babbel, the language company? Mm-hmm. Because why they have not partnered with Taylor Swift? Because she is the biggest gateway into these other countries wanting to speak another language. And if they did something with her to do, oh man, now they may not have near enough money for her to even take a meeting with them.
I don't know
But
why
that's a
you're not running the world,
But
David.
that's a good idea.
That's huge.
When you have someone with that international appeal and you have people in Tokyo going, I want to learn
English. Let's start with Taylor Swift lyrics. What?
Come on now.
Thank you for watching the Radke Show, where we make you think and we make you learn. This moment, this 30 minutes absolutely flew by, and it was not anywhere on the board for us to talk about this. So we'll be back tomorrow with some other things to talk about that maybe we've actually written down and planned ahead to talk about. We love you. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.